what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and so today I'm going to be talking about Avatar and some of the stuff coming up. I've been wanting to talk about Avatar for a while, but obviously there's been a lot of different videos I've had to focus on, as well as other things outside of YouTube to really kind of get into. But I do want to try to plan on putting more Avatar stuff out for people. So you know, with Avatar coming out, I think this will be kind of probably the best opportunity to do more Avatar stuff. But I kind of want to talk about some of the stuff that is going on right now, because there's been a lot of stuff that we've heard over the past couple of months that have been either reported or some stuff that has just not been true, and we just don't know. So, as we guys all know, coming out next year, or actually, was it next year or was it in 2025? I think it might be 2025. It's either 2024 or 2025. But coming out in one of those 2 years is the Avatar Aang movie, which that is going to be an epic movie, by the way. When it comes out, because that's a long time coming for OG Aang fans, or Avatar Avatar: The Last Airbender fans. And so it'll be a huge deal. It's going to be a huge deal for everybody when that comes out. Now, there was a lot of conflicting reports when a couple of years ago, when Netflix joined when Avatar joined Netflix, it had a huge boom in popularity, which I'm happy it did. I myself enjoyed it literally when it first came out in 2005, when I was either 12 or 13 at the time, watching it on Nickelodeon. I was a huge fan of the series. And that was when Nickelodeon really didn't have as much, other than the comedy stuff that they had going on at that time. A lot of the cartoon programming, the good cartoon programming that they had at that point, was really gone by that point, by 2005. So I really think Avatar: The Last Airbender doesn't get really enough credit for Nickelodeon's real, survival and cartoon programming, because those were some dark days for a while there. Once all the original, the cartoons, like from either the early 2000s or the late 90s, were kind of ending by that point. So I think that was a big deal at the time for the network. So, but so because the resurgent popularity of Avatar for more people to have seen it on Netflix has led to this big boom of new stuff and new projects coming out, which started with the Netflix series. The Netflix live action series, which originally was supposed to have Mike and Brian involved, they stepped out and decided to go to Avatar Studios. We do not exactly know the full story on that whole thing, whether some people have suggested that Mike and Brian may have already known that Avatar Studios was going to be a thing, and that's what led to them leaving, and they just used the creative difference as like an excuse to leave. I'm not exactly sure that's the case at all. I think there was some type of disagreement that they just couldn't get behind, and that led to them leaving. And then, of course, the Avatar Studio things came out shortly after, because the Avatar Studios thing only became a thing once Paramount became like a streaming service, and wanted to get a lot of the nostalgic contents out. For example, when Paramount Plus as a streaming service came out, they greenlit iCarly, which was another comedy show on Nickelodeon that was very successful. They, have just recently greenlit Zoe 101 for a movie. Um, they greenlit the Fairly Odd Parents failed television series on Paramount Plus. Um, so a Paramount streaming service. So they seem to have gone for a lot of that nostalgia type of old OG shows. And obviously, once they seen how big Avatar was on Netflix, they obviously wanted a cut of the pie since Viacom owns Avatar, obviously. And so this led to the creation of Avatar Studios, um, which led to the first announcement of a live, or no, I'm sorry, not live, a freaking animation movie, uh, of Team Avatar as adults. Now there was conflicting reports on this. A reliable fan who reports a lot of Avatar news now, literally called Avatar News, um, who, by the way, I do think is a good dude. I have talked to him briefly, um, but at the same time, I do think, and he's admitted this on. I've seen him admit this on Twitter, but he's just a fan at the end of the day, like all of us, you know. So I do want to put this out there that yes, he's reporting stuff, and some of the stuff he has reported has been extremely accurate, but he has also reported some stuff that has not been so accurate. So I want people to caution because I think people are starting to get to the point where Avatar, like everybody expects that anything Avatar News reports on social media is going to actually happen, which is not the case. Um, so, for the most part, when it comes to the live action Netflix series, Avatar News has been pretty accurate on the Netflix side of Avatar. Um, and I think this could be because I've heard, and I don't know if this is true for sure, but I have heard from some people that it's because he has someone that's on the inside that he knows, and that's what has gotten him to be more accurate when it comes to uh, the Netflix stuff. Again, don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. But when it comes to Avatar Studio, though, the stuff that Mike and Brian is currently working on for the Paramount streaming service, he hasn't been so accurate. Now, there has been some stuff that he has been pretty good on, but he's been kind of, how do I say this, just kind of not right on certain parts of what he posts when it comes to Avatar Studios. And again, this could come back to that he might not have an insider involved with like he does for Netflix. Again, don't know if that's true or not, but it would kind of explain how he's been more accurate with Netflix, but he's not been that so accurate with studios, Avatar Studios. Um, so, um, one of the infamous things he got wrong was when he, as you guys know, I did make a video about it because I thought that this was a thing too. When Avatar News reported this, I made a video last year about the report about how the first three movies were going to be the Kyoshi movie, the Zuko movie, and then the Korra movie, which then was later debunked by the Legends of Korra voice actor herself at a Nickelodeon like premiere or something. Um, she basically said that the first movie, in fact, would be about Aang. Um, Now later on, a couple months later, the Zuko movie was confirmed to be happening, but that would be the second movie, which Avatar News did say would be the sequel movie. But again, he said that the first movie would be Kyoshi. So again, this again is not right. And there, I don't think, as of right now, me making this video, there has been no confirmation for the third movie being Legends of Korra, being about Legends of Korra. Now, there is a rumor going on that I don't know if this was officially confirmed yet, but Avatar News reported it about there possibly being a earth-bending Avatar series, which would follow the events of Legends of Korra. This would be after this would be after Korra has passed away, and they would be now having a new Avatar, which would be the next nation in the cycle, as we all know, and that would be the Earth Nation, Earth Kingdom, as it's called, the Earth Kingdom. I don't know if it really would be considered an Earth Kingdom though anymore, since it seems like the Earth Kingdoms, at least from the events of Legends of Korra, seems to be kind of distancing themselves from a monarchy. So we'll see how that goes. Um, but nonetheless, uh, that would be an interesting series to come out. Um, and I'm sure everyone would be entertained by it. Um, but so far, as we all know, there is little to not knowing anything else besides what I have told you already. Um, and it will be interesting to see where this goes with the film. Um, and by the way, this movie will be coming out. The Avatar grown up movie will be coming out. The Avatar and grown up movie will be coming out in 2024. But again, little too is known about what is known about this. Now, one of the rumors, because again, this is really the only project we know for Avatar Studios right now, but I also want to touch on something that Avatar News reported that I really hope isn't true. And I know this is kind of becoming the trend of now voiceover, is the fact that there is a possibility that they are only bringing back Zuko's voice actor, Dante Bosco, which, don't get me wrong, I like Dante Bosco, but I also like the other gang that voice acted for these characters. Now, I know there are some characters, there are some voice actors who are either A, not in the industry, or B, have grown up and are not able to kind of talk the way they used to talk, obviously. Um, but, so if that happens, then yeah, I can understand them having to get a new voice actor. But for the characters that are still active in the industry, and are still able to do the voice, I think they should be allowed to come back. For example, Jessica Flowers is still able to do Toph's voice. Despite her being, I think, a teenager when she voiced Toph, she can still literally do the voice. So I don't see why you would like not have her come back as Toph as an adult. And also, while I don't think Aang's voice actor will be coming back because obviously he's an adult. He's not really into voice acting anymore. I think he's a film guy now. Um, so I don't see him coming back. But at the same time, I would say if he wanted to come back, I'd be completely fine with it because Aang in this movie is supposed to be an adult. And if he's an adult, then obviously his voice would be older, or at least that's how it's supposed to be, and sound older. So I'd have no problem him coming back and using his adult voice for Aang. But again, one of the things, and also, what about Zuki's voice actor? Because why is she coming back then too? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Um, at the end of the day, I know this is a really touchy situation because of the way the industry is now when it comes to trying to have voice actors be voiced by the authentic ethnicity of what the fictional character is. But I think there needs to be some middle ground when it comes to this type of issue, because if we get to that point, then every project, about a fictional character is going to be literally like, oh well, this person can't audition for this role because it's not, you're not the right ethnicity, rather than looking for the best person to voice the character. Um, and I'll use a perfect example of this is like, for example, if 90% of like the fictional characters in a show were Latino, are you going to cast everybody as an ethnicity Latino? Yeah, you're gonna have some of a lot of the main characters be Latino voice actors, but you're not gonna have everybody, be voiced by a Latino. You gotta kind of have a middle ground and have some of the other voice actors out there get a shot at it, and that's what I think. I do think there needs to be some ethnicity for a lot of these characters for representation, but I don't think you should have every voice actor literally have to be in that bubble, because then you know nobody is going to really get a fair shot you know at it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I think. But in terms of these to me are considered legacy characters, and I think because a bunch of these characters, especially Sokka's voice actor, are you know they kind of made these characters what they are, in terms of personality wise and voice direction. Because this isn't like just dubbing over a Japanese actor. This was actually, an animation through America. So these were the first voices you heard, and they were animated specifically for that voice actor. So they kind of made these characters the way they are. And so I would be kind of really upset if Sokka's voice actor couldn't come back, or Toph's voice actor couldn't come back, or Katara's voice actor couldn't come back, you know, because they can still do those voices. Obviously, maybe with Aang, you can't bring him back, but even though Aang's an adult in this movie, I do think there needs to be some type of middle. I think there really needs to be a middle ground. I mean, you don't have this issue with anime. Um, you know, when it comes to the majority of anime characters are Asian. Obviously, you're not going to have every actor in anime be Asian. Um, you're gonna have the best you can do, but you're not gonna have everybody be Asian, or you're not gonna have every voice actor be Asian, I should say. Now, with live action, that's completely different. Live action, you have to go with the actual ethnicity character. And that's why I'm glad that the live action Netflix series is doing that. You have to go with the actual ethnicity person, because that's a physical person. That's a person that you have to see in live action accurately to what the fictional character is drawn as. So that's 100% right, and I think Netflix is doing that right when it comes to casting. But when it comes to cartoons and anime and voice acting, there needs to be kind of middle ground, because, again, at the end of the day, they're fictional drawings of characters that, the voice actor is just providing the voice for. So that's where I'm on that. I do hope they bring back them. Again, this right now is just a rumor by Avatar News. This isn't confirmed by any stretch of the imagination. And if I'm remembering correctly, Toph Beifong, Jessica Flowers' voice actor, actually came out and said that she's still available, like in a tweet, responding to that report from Avatar News. So I don't know. Like, I'm very curious about that. Maybe that's kind of a message that she actually is still coming back, but she can't say anything. Um, but nonetheless, this is kind of what so far I believe has been going on when it comes to Avatar. Um, this is kind of the juicy news that has been kind of posted and been rumored and speculated right now. And hopefully we'll hear more. We'll hear more clarity when what's going to happen with the movie in 2024 with adult Aang, how the plot's going to be, and we'll probably not going to hear about the voice actor thing until much, much later. Um, maybe later this year, but we're gonna definitely hear about it. A lot of these voice actors are still active in the industry too, so it'd be kind of weird that, you know, they wouldn't be coming back because they're still doing conventions, they're still kind of going around talking about these characters, but yet they are just like they're not gonna come back. They're not gonna come back, to provide these voices, you know. So that's the thing that I'm kind of worried about right now, guys. About that. In terms of other projects, I'm just hoping that this is going to be a really good movie, as just like the comic books are, because the comic books are really good. Also, by the way, side note, there is an Azula movie coming, or not Azula movie, I'm sorry, an Azula comic book that's coming out, which I cannot wait for, and read that one up. Hopefully they give more clarity on what happens to her, because we don't really hear any mention of her in Legends of Korra, and the only thing we know is that she helped find Zuko's mother in the Search comic book, but then after that was done, she kind of ran away. So, never went back to prison. So, hopefully we find out what happens to Azula. Um, yeah, I think that is everything so far to cover. If there's more stuff, I'm going to try to really cover the news now on this, because I missed a lot of news reporting on Avatar when stuff came out. And it was a tough year last year. So I'm very, very looking forward to seeing what happens. I'm sure we're going to start hearing more and more news about Avatar very, very soon. When it comes out, I will definitely be talking about it. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video or my other videos, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell for all the latest contents. Thank you. And yeah, that is about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, the SS Ultimate Goku, to follow me on Discord, the SS Ultimate Go, or follow me on, or I'm not sure. Follow me on Twitch, the SS Ultimate Goku. Follow me on Instagram, the SS Ultimate Goku. And also, I do have a Discord server. Link in the description. We discuss anime, cartoons, live action series, live action movies, sports, all that good stuff. And yeah, make sure to go to that as well. And now I'm out. Peace.